Hi, I'm going to show you how to descale a Keurig machine. Descaling just means that it's got some sort of a line buildup from the water that's run through it, and if you don't clean your Keurig machine out regularly, it ends up coming to a complete stop, and you think it's broken if the descaling red light doesn't go on. So when I first got Keurig machines, I've had them for like 10 years now, maybe the first one or two, I just thought, okay, it's gone kapooey, and I just trashed them. But I've gotten a little bit better about it since then. If it doesn't work, I have a couple things that I try. So I'm going to show you first. The best thing to do is really to go through regular maintenance on your Keurig machine to keep it running really well. If you have a Keurig machine that has a filter, go ahead and take this off. And if you have a Keurig machine that takes a filter, one of the best things to do would be when you set the month for your Keurig machine to change your filter, then that would be a good time to actually go through the whole descaling process. I never think about that until my coffee pot isn't working anymore, and then I descale. So that's kind of a problem. Too late. If your Keurig machine, I keep mine on all the time, and so the auto off is not on, that light is not on. It's just the power button. And the first thing you want to do besides pulling out the filter is go ahead and empty out your water from the reservoir. Okay, then go ahead and put your reservoir back on. And then you want to have white vinegar. Now, there's a Keurig cleaning product which works well, but it's very, very expensive. And so I've had really good results with just a really cheap bottle of vinegar. And so I would recommend this. And what you want to do is go ahead and fill up your Keurig machine, not fill it up, but maybe like halfway. And you don't want to, okay. So you want to dilute it a little bit because you don't want to keep the full strength in there. It might end up kind of doing damage to your Keurig machine. So you want to dilute it a little bit. Depends on how desperate you are. If you're just doing a regular cleaning cycle, I would say 50-50 is good. So you can put half of the vinegar and half water, and then just run it through the regular process. So I usually get a cup, even though it's not really Starbucks. I like to have one of the cups. I really like the way they store. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so I have my cup, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. This is also a good time to clean out the inside of this, but you don't need to. I'm gonna go ahead and close that back up, and so of course it's ready to run the cycle. Go ahead and run it through. I let it run through one full cycle. If it's not really clogged up, I just keep running it through until I've got down to the bottom of the reservoir, okay? So that's the first maintenance. If you're just doing it as a regular maintenance, that's the best way to do it. Just keep running it through and keeping it in there for a little while, letting it set, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, come on, machine. When we came back from vacation a couple days ago, our Keurig machine had completely stopped working. Now, the descaling light doesn't serve as a warning light, like I'm getting ready to crash on you. It kind of comes on when no more water's coming out, and I kind of figure that out. I don't really need the light at that point. So if I could change one thing about the Keurig machine, that would be it, to have the light come on before it actually stops working on me. But anyways, go ahead and run it through a cycle. And then as the water starts going back into the machine, it will be the vinegar that's actually filling up. So let it run through, pour this water out, you don't need that anymore. And you're gonna start smelling the vinegary smell again. So go ahead and run that one more time. After you've run it through this next time, then I just let it sit. Okay, one of the things that my husband likes to do is, as it starts the cycle right here, is to just go ahead and power it off. As soon as some of it starts coming through, which should be any second here. Now my Keurig machine is getting a little bit older, so it's probably not as fast as maybe somebody else's is. So and you can see it's taking the water out of the reservoir, or the vinegar out of the reservoir. All right, so any any second now. Right here. So I'm going to power it off. And now it's already ran through all the pieces inside, and it's sitting there. So I just kind of leave it there for a while, let it kind of forget about it. If you're just doing maintenance, 15, 20 minutes is fine. And then come back and turn it on. And of course, the problem with that is then you go through the quick heating thing again. Okay, and the other thing I don't like about doing it this way is it will just kind of spit out the remainder of what was started. So if you're not aware of that, you kind of think, oh, it's still not working right. So it's just going to spit out the remainder of it, and then you could go ahead and do it again. Okay, so if your Keurig machine is not working at all, like for example, when I came back from vacation and it was done, it wasn't working at all, there's measures that can be taken, and it's called the shake it like crazy method, but shake and pour, I guess is what you could call it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and let this cycle run first. I actually did pour quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that out. Okay, so now let's take the scenario of it not working at all. Well, the problem with it not working at all is I can't get the vinegar into the compartment in order for it to start running through. So what I have to do is, or what I've done, and it's worked for me, that and a lot of praying, is I empty this out. I completely empty this out, make sure that everything's out. I unplug it, okay? And then I kind of lean it over the sink. Oops, I'll get that little piece there. I lean it over the sink, and I do shake it. For some reason, it seems like whatever is in there kind of gets unclogged when I shake it. And usually a whole bunch of water will pour out at the same time. So that kind of shakes what's stuck in there and helps it clear a little bit. Okay, that's probably not manufacturer recommendation, but it's worked for me. All right, so then I go ahead and plug it back in. And the difference, probably about the only thing that would be different, well, a couple things that are a little bit different, is one, my ratio is a little bit different. I put still about a half a bottle of the vinegar, and if I put any at all, I just dilute it a little bit, because if it's not working at all, I figure I'm kind of in desperate measures, taking desperate measures. So I go ahead and fill it up, and then, oops, got to power it back on. And then I do the same process again. I run it through the first time, pour it out, run it through again the second time, pause it, but I let it sit a lot longer, maybe like an hour or two. I think they even recommend like 3 or 4 hours, but I'm not that patient. So usually after a couple hours, I'm good. And then I just continue running the cycles through until the water is all gone, and just keep dumping the water out. And then I refill it again and let it go through with clear water. And then I rinse out the compartment here, the water holder, reservoir, dump that out, clean it out, and then I go ahead and run it through again. I overly run it just because I don't like the vinegar aftertaste, and maybe it's in my mind, but I kind of feel like I taste it for a long time. So that's why also why it's important to take your filter out before you do this whole process, because your filter will end up holding that vinegar taste to it. So anyways, that's how you descale a Keurig. So I hope this helps. Thanks. Bye.